Hey y'all, welcome to our Queen Sugar recap. I'm here with my sister Season. Hey Season.
Hey.
We're going to be joined by Ashley in a moment. She had something to work on, but she's going to be joining us. But before she joins us, let's go on ahead and get this party rolling. Let me wait for some people to pop in.
Mhm.
Um, we are a little bit late, so I don't know if anybody gonna join us. But let's see if anybody is coming on. Okay. MD Terp is here. Okay, once MD Terp is here, that means it's official. Okay, the 33 MD Terp, Karina, like the regulars are here. Sheila, hey Sheila. Okay, so we can go ahead and get this party started. He said, let's get into it tonight. They gave us so much to chew on. Hey, Karina, so much. I mean, it's like night and day doing Insecure as opposed to Queen Sugar. Like Insecure gives us like this much, and then like I have like 3 pages of notes on Queen Sugar tonight.
3 pages? Okay,
Well, I
okay.
mean, it's like the little Samsung
Okay, you
notes,
got some
right?
post-its? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a three post-it notes. Okay,
Okay,
so
well, I'm gonna have something to say about everything.
okay. Okay. Let's start off with the biggest disappointment for me. Well, I'll wait for Ashley because I know Ashley is going to want to chime in. So I'll start with Ashley's least favorite person. And so I'll save something for her, which is, and this is not me saying this. This is what I would think Ash would say. But let's start with Aunt Vi. So Aunt Vi, I feel for Aunt Vi. Let me tell you what. Aunt Vi has been under a lot of stress. She's put a lot on her plate. They still haven't addressed the whole situation with Billy. I don't know if they're going to revisit that. And her
Oh
finding
yeah,
out that,
she was missing from the whole episode. Okay.
yeah, but she had homegirl who tried to give her man. Sheila says Aunt Vi got on my nerves. Nobody gives Aunt Vi any kind of like grace. I'm the only one who's like, well, Aunt Vi, she tries. But okay, let me just run it down. So she had Celeste, right? Celeste. So she took on Celeste and Celeste's son. Okay, Celeste stabbed her in the back, but she still was good, gracious towards her. She's been doing the community stuff, pay what you want for Aunt Vi's pies. She's been doing charity work. Then obviously Hollywood is getting his business on the up off the ground. She's had this like running a rivalry, or not rivalry, but beef with Ralph Angel. She misses Blue. She has a lot going on, so it doesn't surprise me that this kind of time for like a little bit of a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? She's not tending as much to herself as to other people. MD Turb says, oh, Celine, Karina says Celine. So Celine was homegirl. Vi gets on my nerves sometimes, but Lord, I'm not trying to see her go on to the glory. Exactly. We're not trying to see anything happen to Aunt Vi. Season, what was your reaction to Aunt Vi? Basically kind of things coming to a head with her health this week. Do you think that it was more of a, because you're a nurse, Season is a nurse, an RN. Do you think it was more physical in terms of, her condition, or do you think that all of the things that I've just listed are, kind of what led to the breakdown? She's not a real patient, but you get my drift.
I guess I didn't catch what she had. I'm assuming it's some type of autoimmune
I
or
think she might
lupus.
have lupus.
Okay. Okay. I think she should have took her ass to the damn doctor. I don't think she should be. It's way too much going on right now for her to be talking about I'm okay, but you laid up off on the side of your bed.
Exactly
So
what Sheila said.
so yeah,
If
she should have went to the hospital to get the all clear because it's just too much going on. We don't need to be worried about you right now because she has been doing the most. So how does she know that this isn't more than what it usually is? So I just kind of feel like if it were me, I would have went just to appease my family and put them at ease because clearly she was lying about how serious her symptoms were or how she was feeling, and that's not a
yeah.
good look.
Well, and I think that's really strange. Like, you have a pandemic that's still going on. You have lupus, Karina, confirmed. And you don't want to go to the hospital after you passed out. Like, come on. Like, I think you have to be more responsible, especially as we get up there in age. You cannot ignore these kind of signs. You don't know what's going on. Shit, you could have COVID and not really realize it. So I think that Hollywood, I mean, I love Hollywood. I think Hollywood is very perceptive when it comes to Aunt Vi. You know, he kind of offered, well, do you want me to do the dishes? Or he kind of saw that something was a little off, but he probably should have pressed it a little bit more. But ultimately, it's her health. And it's really hard to get people to go to the hospital when they don't want to go to the hospital. So, you know, that's a bit of a challenge. Let's go on ahead and get Ash in on this. Hey, girl. Hey. We can't hear you.
Oh, but so, she gotta have, it's
you have it on mute.
So on mute.
I wasn't pushing the right button.
There you go. There you go. Okay, I gotta move myself to the center because.
Hold on, let me move on.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, adjust.
MD Terp, don't come for me today, okay? I did not get no makeup on. I just got off another Zoom call, but I am ready for you ladies. What's up?
Right.
Okay, we were talking about Aunt Vi. So there's MD Terp is like, Aunt Vi gets on my nerves sometimes, but I'm not trying to see her go. So I think we all agree that we do not want anything to happen to Aunt Vi. But we also, I think, all agree that she should have taken her ass to the hospital because you done passed out. You got a lot going on. She's gone. Okay. We'll have to wait for her to come back. But let me just go back and say about Hollywood. I did absolutely love how Hollywood, you know, is just always so loving and caring when it comes to Aunt Vi. You know, he'd never just like be like, oh, well, I ain't tripping. Fuck it then. If you want to sit up there and be sick, then go ahead. You know, he never has that kind of attitude. Okay, Ash, your reaction about Aunt Vi.
She's so dramatic. Oh my God. She just gotta have something about her. No, it was kind of sad seeing her fall over. I didn't know what those spots were at first because they looked
because she had bruises.
I honestly, I thought that those bruises came from Jimmy Dean, like she had snuck off to go see him or something.
Is he? He's alive?
Jimmy Dale is in the wind, all off in the wind.
Oh, okay. They look
there we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
They didn't look like bruises to me. They looked like open sores or something. Because initially I thought, I was like, dude, she got shingles? What's going on?
But I would think with lupus, you can bruise easily, right?
I don't know. But she was putting like ointment or a lotion or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know the thing. But
yeah, it just looked like it was something on her arm. But yeah, it was kind of. I knew Hollywood was gonna react in some form or fashion, seeing his girl laid out on the floor. But it's like she wasn't really laid out. It looked like she was chilling when he came in.
No, she was laid out. She was like this, breathing hard and shit.
Yeah,
she was laid out.
That's scary because you have to remember, like, Aunt Vi is up there in age. I mean, you know, we black don't crack and all that kind of stuff. But just because you might look good, because you could throw on your little wig and, you know what I'm saying, get your eyeliner together and draw your eyebrows, don't mean that you young in physical. You know what I'm saying? You got to still take care of yourself. And I'm saying that to myself too, okay? Because I'm getting up there in age. But I do think the bright spot in all of that is what Karina says, and still not being honest with her husband about her symptoms.
That's the part for me. That's the part I didn't like.
You have to be honest with your partner. How can your partner help you? How can your partner support you? And you could potentially, it has implications on your partner if something is happening with you physically. So that's completely wrong that she was not being transparent about her health. But I will say the highlight, though, in the silver lining in all this is Ralph Angel and Vi are on a good page all of a sudden. Anybody excited about that or just me?
It was too many speeches and shit in this episode for me, but I mean, that's good. They back on the same page or whatever. Ralph Angel still being hard-headed like a motherfucker, so we can talk about that when we get there. But I was just like, okay, that's cute. Like all of a sudden she got, I looked up Blue School and it was a lot for me. But I'm glad that they had the conversation.
Yeah, but I do think though in this particular scene between the two of them, I like that he took accountability. I like that he said I was wrong. I made bad decisions. He wasn't being defensive. I like that him and Hollywood hung it out in a different scene. I think that even though to your point, and we will talk about it, Ralph Angel is being very stubborn, still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think that accountability is really important because he really did mess up. And, sometimes Ralph Angel has kind of lashed out at people, but it's very important that he took accountability. And, they have their issues really weren't something that couldn't be moved. They couldn't move past. They were both being set in their ways. I don't know why Aunt Vi didn't research this Sidwell and Friends before going off and talking shit to Ralph Angel.
That's where the baby girl went.
Yes.
What?
Yes, where the Obama girls went.
Right. That's how I know what Sidwell and Friends is.
Yeah. So that was a little ignorant that she was just like, nah, rah.
How you don't know what Sidwell and Friends is?
Yeah. So that was real ignorant on her part. But she owned it. And she said, you're a good family man like your daddy. I know that that really meant a lot to Ralph Angel. So I mean, me, I'm all about family, reconciliation, accountability. There's so many times that particularly in families where there are breakdowns that happen. Didn't nobody steal none from nobody in that particular family? Didn't nobody put nobody hands on each other? Y'all are just beefing because you don't agree with somebody else's choice. That's really not your business. And so I do think that it's really important that they move past that. Karina says Ralph Angel cries too damn much. I appreciate a sensitive man and one who gets emotional, but damn, you look at him, he cries. Oh, he got a lot of stuff to cry about. Ashley, your reaction to Ralph Angel, Season is not feeling it. Your reaction to Ralph Angel and Aunt Vi finally getting on the same page.
I love the theme of the show of moving forward. That's what I got from it. Every scene was a progressive scene to like the next step to the future.
Yeah.
With them. So I was okay with the conversation. Of course, it was crying Kofi that, had to definitely steal the scene.
They didn't cry too damn much.
He cried all the time. But this time it felt like Vi finally admitted that she was wrong, which was a shock, right? And I think for him to look her in the eye and say, I made a mistake, I was wrong, I think it was a very healing conversation that needed to be had.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
And I loved how she said, you ain't lost nothing that you can't get back. But what really took me is when she said, in fact, I'm already feeling better. I love that she said that because, sometimes stuff just be weighing. Not me personally. I'm not one who really get weighed down by other people having an issue with me, but most people.
I don't be caring that much.
Not me personally, but I'm just saying other people in theory, like they really get weighed down by shit not being right. But no, I mean, if it were like something like somebody super close to me, I might be a little bit more weighed down, but you don't like to have, the family feuding. So I thought that was really great. And like I said, it takes one less element of stress off her plate, which has been contributing to her condition. But speaking of moving forward, the biggest disappointment in this episode for me was Micah. That was not forward progress for Micah. It felt very much like Homeboy said. Somebody help me. What is his name? I forget. They never say his name. Isaiah. Okay. Isaiah called him out and he was like, it feels very much like virtue signaling, like were you just basically full of shit. So let's walk through it. First of all, Micah seemed to be feeling a little bit more insecure this episode. That kind of came from left field. I don't know where that came from. Isaiah was trying to encourage him about, you should show your photography to the frat. But maybe the whole black men kind of being close was something that he started to realize, like maybe this is not ready for prime time. But he had his big show at Hollywood's The Gathering spot. And he was shook, like extra shook at that one old black dude, which what do you expect from an old black dude? But what he did, saying, y'all trying to show this what y'all on? Like, I mean, he was like,
that shit was funny.
He was being super homophobic, toxic masculinity. Like, what is this? What is this shit? He might as well say, what is this gay shit y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was his undertone. And Micah, who had been so like defiant, up until this point, was shook by that.
Yeah.
You guys in the comments, and then I'll start off with you, Season. What was your reaction? You just said it was funny what the guy said, but what was your reaction to just how quickly it fell apart for Micah? Or am I overstating it? In terms of his from Defiance, when he talked to his mom Charlie, and how he's like going in for the bigger hug, to now all of a sudden like, just falling apart at somebody not liking it. Do you think it's because it's his art that's involved, that he's more defensive? What do you think is behind it?
Well, I think it's already something that's been on his mind. He mentioned it to his mom, even in every episode he got a look and a snicker or whatever. So it's definitely something that's been brewing with him. But I think for him, it was having his family stick up for, like, being called out in front of the men in his family, like, what is this? And them saying, well, what if he is gay? So I think that added to it, because it's it's one thing when you're off to college doing your own thing, but when you come home and your family has to stick up for you for something that you may or may not be doing, or you may be confused about on your own, then that kind of, I think it was the fact that he was called out in front of his family that made him react that way. But that was some whack ass shit. I mean, I was off when he got into that whole.
Hold on. Wait a second. I want to go to what Karina says. I don't think they were prepared for that conversation of that photo with old school folks in the building. They will react, and they should have had an enlightening response, not defensive. Yeah, I think that a big part of it is, like you said, it's the audience that it was in front of. I mean, everybody, like, when you're in company of people that are like-minded, or like, when your age group, maybe you feel a little bit more confident, but it hits a little bit closer to home when it's your family and you don't want them looking at you differently, especially when you maybe haven't figured it out. I mean, do you think that he's trying to figure it out, Ashley, and now maybe he's resisting it? Or do you think that, like, the stakes are a little bit different if his family gets this impression and he really doesn't want them to have the impression? I mean, what do you think? Is he confused, or is he just like, maybe this ain't what I want? I'm just trying to figure it out too.
I don't know if I would say he's confused. Like, he has some underlying sexual, desire for Isaiah. Mm-hmm. I think just he's gotten comfortable, and he's embarrassed by how comfortable he is with this man. Like, this seems like a brand new type of relationship for him. It doesn't seem like he's ever had a male relationship that has been this intimate, and not romantic, if that makes sense. You're sitting, you're talking to this man about deep feelings you've had this trauma go on, and now he helped you through that. So it really seems like, was I not supposed to be this accepting of, is this not how Black men, I'm embarrassed by this, trying to stand up for his masculinity, when it's like, dude, you really don't have to. Nobody's questioning you. Nobody cares. And who really cares about what this old man is saying? But, one question I posed was, is this meaning that he's like fake woke?
Yeah, of course.
To have all this level of acceptance, and he doesn't care. He's like, I stand up for you. But it's like, do you really though?
When he said that, I was like,
yeah,
stand up for him.
Like,
yeah, let's really hold on. We're gonna get to that. Let's go with MD Turp though. He says that's the thing with a lot of Black men, and really men period, who are initially cool with another gay guy. It's all good until someone calls it out. They don't want to be gay by association. So that's like exactly what you guys are saying. The stakes are a little bit different. Like, they want to put their own label on it and then like come to terms with it. But if they haven't put themselves in that label, then they're like, don't try to do me like that, But I mean,
he just wasn't prepared.
Wasn't prepared. Yeah.
Isaiah had it ready. Well, if you travel, I've been to Africa and this. Yeah. Isaiah was ready to really just stand up for men being affectionate without being sexual.
Yeah.
What's the name? Micah just thought that they would see the picture and get it. But as an artist, you need to be ready to explain and defend your work. And if you take it personal, that's understandable because you're the person in the picture. But he wasn't ready to teach. He wasn't ready to, he's too emotional about the
Yeah.
topic to really
Yeah.
keep it cool and be like, look, old head, this is not what you thinking,
Yeah. And I think
Right.
like Karina says it well too. Politely and lovingly school to old school folks. Isaiah was ready. Obviously, Isaiah gets this kind of stuff all the time. And so he was confident in his response. He was convicted, but he wasn't like, what if I was gay? What difference does it make? I think he was trying to, and what I thought the show was trying to do is kind of push back against the toxic masculinity aspect of like black men can't be affectionate towards one another, and Micah had been squarely in that boat until this episode.
Yeah.
And that's where let's see, Brooklyn 411 says Micah realized he wasn't as enlightened as he thought he was when he was around his family.
But I
and
will
then
say this, Reese, I
Yeah.
appreciate that they showed two sides of a black man in that one situation. I appreciate they showed one man standing up for affection, standing up for like, this is just life. This is just us loving each other. This does not have anything to do with romance. It's just having that great friendship. But then Micah on the insecure side of the spectrum, I really enjoyed that it was two perspectives in one conversation as the main focus. But there was like, when Micah said we're just friends, that was the first notion. Oh boy, looked at him like, okay, like why you pressing? We friends, basically. Did you guys catch that?
I did not catch that, but that's a good catch.
And Micah moved to the other side of the room.
Oh, this is during the event?
Yeah, during the event.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't catch all of that. I saw the awkwardness on his face. I saw like the horror on his face, but I didn't catch some of those little things. But here is what was so heartbreaking for me. It's not just like a matter of like, when we talk about being woke or being progressive, it's not like a shits and giggles label. Like there are feelings attached. And I feel like Isaiah really did so much to provide a safe space for Micah and his trauma and be supportive, unequivocally supportive. And he also open up himself to Micah. He became vulnerable to Micah and he felt like Micah was truly a friend. And Micah just completely shitted on him. I was so heartbroken. And the actor who plays Isaiah, I'm going to look up his name. He played the hell out of that scene. Like his tears were just so crushing for me.
Oh,
yeah, you didn't see him crying?
Yes, he understood the assignment. Because it wasn't even like a bad cry. It was like I am heartbroken cry. It was beautiful.
It was gut wrenching. I mean, he was so hurt. And yeah, you missed it because it was just like, I was like, oh my God, Micah, how could you do this to Isaiah? Yeah. Like, it's so one-sided. And it made him kind of think like, so this whole time you've just been virtual signaling. Yes. It just made him feel like you set me up for this disappointment. Yes. And I believed in you. And Micah really, like, I still think he was so much in his own head and so much in his own ego and his own pride that he didn't really recognize that he wronged his friend Isaiah. I mean, he said, I defended you around the frat brothers when they called you gay. And Isaiah was like, as you were about to say, Season, my sexuality does not need defending. So Season, take it away from there.
I mean, that's fucked up in general. If I had somebody act like they be in a room full of people talking shit about me and they the only one who stick up for me, it's like, well, bitch, fuck you too. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't have to act like you some Captain Sable or superhero like Isaiah.
You're not a superhero.
I don't need nobody to stick up for me. I existed at this school before I met you, before you became part of the frat. Like, you don't got to do that. You ain't doing me no favors. And like you said, Reese, he's the one who opened up that, gave Micah that space. And now Micah acting like he needed him more than Micah needed him, and it's like, no, you benefited a great deal from this relationship. He's been pouring into you as an artist and everything. And you acting like you're the one who actually been, doing him, like being nice to him. You acting like he the charity case all of a sudden. Nah, that was fucked up.
And that's what it is. I mean, being gay is not a condition. It's not a case. You know what I'm saying? Like it's also, from what he said, is not necessarily his identity. He was like, I'm not letting that define me. So I don't know why you're even defending me. But what I also took away from it is that it's so interesting because, like, depending on the social setting, Micah's like, oh, I'm defending him. He's not gay or whatever. I don't know if he's saying that it's okay to be gay in this setting. I don't know exactly what he said, but it's interesting that he said that he defended him when people were calling him gay in that setting. But then when he's talking to his mom or when he's in other settings, then it's all good. It's all good in the hood, and you're all fake woke and fake conscious. So, Ashley, what was your reaction to just, Micah acting like he was kind of doing Isaiah a favor when he really just pulled the rug up from under him?
You know what really pissed me off about it was the fact that Micah gave such a beautiful appreciation speech to him and showed so much gratitude and just said it in such a beautiful way that it was like, I felt like he really was like, this is my brother. This is my best friend. This is someone like you. He's expressing how he put him on meditation and how he really he helped him evolve himself and get through his hard time. Like, you did all that just to shit on him at your fucking show over a stupid ass picture. Like, let's be real. If it was two females in that picture, it wouldn't be a problem. You have no issue expressing how you feel about him. But when it's behind closed doors or when it's to your fucking mama and you gonna let this old ass man get you in this insecure situation to where you're not even taking up for the person who has helped you in life. Like, I just think Micah, the compassionate side of me wants to have compassion and understand that this is a different situation for him. And it could have been just a mistake, right? But the fact that boy stood there, Isaiah had those tears in his eyes, and you really could just feel his heartbreak through the screen. It's like, man, fuck you, Micah. Like, I don't need to deal with you. You fucked up for thinking you over here trying to save me. Like, I don't need you. You needed me. I was already 100% whole before you fucking came around. Like, I was sharing my awesome self with you and showing that men can be intimate and have intimate conversations and just be there for each other. And one thing that really put a nail in the coffin was he's like, I don't even talk about my sexuality. I never even said I was gay. That's what's fucked up. You don't even know that I'm gay because I've never said it. It's not like I'm in a closet or anything, but I'm literally just living my authentic self, and you are embarrassed of me as my authentic self. That's the root of all of this shit, because you really aren't. I feel like this shows that Micah really isn't this, we know this because of course he's a freshman in college. He's not going to be knowing himself. Yeah, he's a freshman,
might be a sophomore by now.
But even as a sophomore, like, we don't fully know. We don't know who we are at that point. We're what, 20, 21?
Yeah.
So it really shows that he just does not know who he is. That's
absolutely
the next journey they're gonna put him. This is really showing him who he is at his core and how he needs to evolve for real.
And the last thing I'll say is that, I'm not trying to diminish microaggressions, because microaggressions are awful and they have a cumulative, and even if without a cumulative effect, even in that moment, it can be very just hurtful. And we've seen Isaiah really handle all these microaggressions well, and even, in some cases, Micah did, but for him to crumble over this kind of like, very just, it's as far as like, if you wanted to say somebody was homophobic, as far as those comments go, oh boy, like, wasn't as bad as it gets. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like calling them racial, he wasn't calling them slurs. He didn't even call them gay or anything like that. If you would be offended by that label, he just said, oh, that's what we doing, so even that little bit just set him the fuck off. And it's like, well, damn, you really wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you thought you was doing. Like, he was being all superpowered to the people. Ready. Yeah, and then black people don't know if they free now. You all up on your motherfucking high horse about how woke you are, how liberated you are, and it didn't take shit for you to go right back into your shell.
This old raggedy ass black man that put you on your ass.
Oh, he whooped your ass up in front of
just with the look. Just with the look.
That was it. That's all it took. So, Micah, I'm disappointed. in your character. It was terrible. I think it just was so out of step with the rest of the episode and the forward movement and just kind of like the maturity of a lot of things. So womp womp, Micah. I don't think that he deserves Isaiah as a friend. I don't know if there's going to be some reconciliation there. I don't think there probably will, because I mean, Queen Sugar is good about that, but he doesn't deserve Isaiah. Let's just say that, okay? But yeah, okay, moving on. Let's talk about Nova. And her situation. I don't know if anybody's here to cuss you out, season, if you laughing. So I think you might be okay this week. But Nova, the one out of three on this panel, I still have nothing but compassion and just empathy for Nova, who's still very much traumatized from the police raid.
You still feeling bad for this white woman?
I'm still feeling bad for this Black woman, strong sister, who is being persecuted by the police and targeted and harassed. And here's my thing. A lot of times when we have this conversation about, police brutality and being targeted, it's always centered around Black men. I mean, if you look at the Black women who have been victims of overzealous police raids or police activity, Tatiana Jefferson, the woman who was playing video games with her nephew, her killer just is starting to go on trial. Breonna Taylor is a victim of them. There are so many Black women who have been, their apartments have been stormed. And so even if she didn't die. Okay, I know some people say, but did you die? Even though she didn't die, like, it kind of rings like what kind of danger you're in. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to a situation where the outcome wasn't as bad, but just even the thought of like where it could have went is just enough to kind of just have you shaken for a while, right? We can all agree on that, right? Okay, I see head nods. That's good. Okay, so I mean, I think that's where she's at mentally. Is just like she's still triggered. She has PTSD, rightfully so. So I really appreciated her neighbor coming to check on her. What is neighbor guy's name? Like, do they say his name? I don't have any idea what his name
is. Fine. That's his name.
Well, I'm going to call him Neighbor Bay. And Karina says, I have compassion for Nova Tyrese.
His name is Handsome.
Okay. I'm going to call him Neighbor Bay. Neighbor Bay came in. This Protect Black Woman, hashtag Protect Black Woman. I love to see the way that the Black men are protective of the Black woman on the show. That's a very common theme. Hollywood being protective of Aunt Vi, Neighbor Bay being protective of Nova. And I love how, she was like, well, I'm going to just go off and, go off into the wind. I have a lot of shit going on. And he offered to go with her. And then when she goes, well, can you just drop everything like that? And he says, for you and what you've been through, yes, I can. I was just like, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Season, let me start with you. Your reaction to the whole Nova and Neighbor Bay plot this episode.
It was kind of corny to me, but I would have rather have seen that than her crying in her apartment for the whole episode.
Well, what was corny? I thought it was
because he was just like, oh girl, I take today off. She like, okay, well, I'm finna go on a road trip. Well, I'm going with you too. And then he get there, he like, oh, my boss on my head. It's like, come on, dog.
But he said he was willing to miss the devil.
It was cute. It was cute. And then he kind of curved her a little bit at the end and was like, pump your brakes. So it was cute. I can get on board with this.
But it was, he did a little skirt because like he gassed her ass up. Oh, you this, that, and together. Then when she leaned in for the kiss, it's like, come on, Neighbor Bay. Like you giving mixed signals right now. I did approve of his rationale, but you could have kept the speech then if that was the motherfucking case. Why you gas her ass up this close, y'all, this close to each other, like, and then you want to be like,
ready.
She was ready. Let me tell you something about Rutina Wesley. That girl, that lady, that woman, she has the twinkle in her eye, the eye contact. She can act her ass off because I'm telling you, every person that she look at in her love interest, I believe that she is deeply and madly in love with that person. Like she has that look down. And I watch a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna say black stuff. I watch a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of that kind of skill that's missing in a lot of the things that I watch. Sheila says Nova was ready to jump them bones. Ashley, your reaction to the Nova and Neighbor Bay plot this episode?
Okay, well, first of all, just when they had her sit back and they showed the whole living room, that cinematography was gorgeous with the wall color, her outfit, all the color story was a beautiful scene. Like I love Queen Sugar for just the landscapes they give us.
Yes.
So that was a really good way to open it up. But I loved the fact that that one piece of glass brought her back right into that traumatic moment. It just really shows that even though life moves on, whatever happened to you has now stopped. It's no longer happening to you, but something as small as a piece of glass can bring you back to that moment as if it's re-triggering to you all over again, re-traumatizing you all over again. So I was really happy. I love the way they're handling mental health and talking about the different aspects and levels to it. So that was really good for me. As far as Neighbor Bay, I think his speech was so cute. I loved it. I think that was just a great scene of showing her support for it. And then to kind of turn the tables and have him break down at the plantation, and it like really gives him that space to like express his feelings. That was a really good play off of each other. Like, I need the support and now I'm giving you the support. And then I think that was a great way to show the teamwork between Black people, Black women and Black men, of how a relationship really is supposed to be a partnership. We're supposed to be here for each other. So I loved how that all played out. As far as him leaving and stopping the kiss, I mean, no means no, y'all. Like, so it does not matter whether he stopped right before or whether he never went in. No means no. So that is okay with me. But I liked his reasoning for it. I think it was a very mature reasoning. I think it was right on point. You know, we have a lot of men that still would go ahead with it because they just trying to get in the draws, you know. But
and a lot of women too. They'd be like, okay, you're vulnerable. This is my chance.
Absolutely. Yes, we do have some women out there that will jump them bones if they have the opportunity. So I like the fact that he really put her emotions and realizes that in order for them to be something that he really envisions for them as a future, they got to start with a solid foundation. And right now, with this trauma, he recognizes neither one of them are ready for that move. So I respect it. I really enjoyed how they're playing with him. Like, they're showing that there's some really good Black men out here that actually, you know, got it together. Not just predators or just, you know, out here acting a fool.
like revelation. But here's the thing that's so interesting to me about the whole, like, you're vulnerable and I want us to be on strong footing. I like that because a common thread of a lot of Nova's relationship is like an imbalance of power, a power dynamic. I mean, you had, you know, the cop who was married, you know, then you had, she had a brief romance. I don't know if you guys saw this season with her professor, you know, and her professor was really like not feeling the fact that, you know, Nova was on the upswing and shining more than her. And, you know, so she's had several relationships where the power dynamic has been off, and, somebody has been a little damaged or a little broken. And usually actually Nova kind of likes to have the more upper hand in the situations. But I like that Neighbor Bay wants things to really be on even footing and wants to be, you know, where they're both in a good headspace. And he's putting in the work to help support her with no strings attached. And I think that's important too. Absolutely. To truly just be supportive. A lot of times people do want to say, okay, well, this is where I'm going to work my way in. And he's like just being genuine. And I think she can appreciate that, particularly when she's not communicating as much with her family about what she's going through. I think she's trying to just like put on a brave face and soldier through for her family as opposed to being vulnerable. Even though she put all their business and shit on blast on the other stuff. But, you know, now she's in the hush-hush business instead of in the tell-all business. So, you know, Sheila says, look, we mad, but that's what we look for in a man. I'm glad they're showing that side. Yeah, they're showing there's no catch with him. And I think that's really great because I think true romance is not waiting for the other shoe to drop, like I think so often. And I think that I like that Queen Sugar doesn't do this as much. They really kind of allow Black love and romance without a catch. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't necessarily do a whole lot of bait and switch stuff going on. And so I like that they're really developing that. And he wants to know her. And we learned some more things about him that were pretty cool. He is, in some, I guess you could say, woke, with the whole Black land reclamation thing and all kind of stuff. So I think I like this. There's only 2 more episodes to go. Maybe we get a kiss, whatever. But
we gonna get that kiss. Somebody better kiss him on that show.
If it's Charlie or somebody. I know, right? Like, get a guy a song. But he didn't want the kiss. So maybe he will change his mind and want the kiss at some point. So, okay. That's that with that. Before I end on Charlie and Davis, let's circle back around to Darla. Oh, wait. Pam says it shows that Neighbor Bay has a healthy perspective on building relationships. There's a lot of Black men on Queen Sugar with emotional intelligence. We love,
no kids, right?
Huh?
You don't have no kids, right?
I don't think he has kids. I was like, wait on, was he gonna say, wait a minute, I got a girl at home or I got a wife somewhere? I wasn't sure if that's where he was going, but he just said he wants to like do it right, and I think that's good. I'm a little bit more of a romantic, so I'm like, fuck doing it right. Like, let's go.
Hello, me too.
The time is now. Carpe diem, right? Is that the right word? Carpe diem? Like,
seize the day.
Seize the day. Thank you.
Seize the nuts.
Better get this traumatized shit while it's on the platter.
While it's still hot. Come on and get it while it's still hot.
You got PTSD? Come on, I got the remedy.
Y'all are so... They gonna kick us off this app, y'all.
Okay. So just that's a little keeping it real. Like, come on. Like, yeah. That's some TV shit. In real life, it's like... Let's do this.
You ain't gotta take your time with me. Just give me a little steak.
Fuck it, I'll be better. 2 weeks, just give me a minute. 2 weeks. It don't take that long for me to get over some shit.
Yeah, she was like, okay. Yeah,
she was ready.
She's like, I'm fine. I feel better already. Shit. Healed. We can go back home now.
Woo, hey, you got that medicine, okay?
Hello. I just like, okay, fuck all that healing shit. Like, let's just do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that shit. Like,
what's wrong with us, y'all? What's wrong with us?
Nothing. We ain't on that show. That's what's wrong with
listen, the best remedy usually is just moving the fuck on. Like, you just got to do it, Don't take the training wheels off. Just go. But okay. Darla. They doing season, me, you pregnant right now. I was just pregnant, 8 months ago. They making Darla look pregnant for real, right? They doing a good job of having
pregnant in real life, is she? Because she looked pregnant.
No, I don't think she is. I don't think she's pregnant in real life, but they are definitely making her out to look pregnant. And she looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. But the whole look, like, I don't know if she has kids, but she got the pregnancy look down. But I will say that I love her spirit in this episode. She's really trying to, as you said earlier, Ashley, progress and move forward and really trying to center Ralph Angel on, we have a baby girl coming. You need to be focused on this. And I think that Ra is working through his emotions. He's trying to atone. He's trying to take accountability, but he still doesn't have his head in the game in terms of, you got a baby on the way. Fuck all the other shit. Like, season, you start your reaction to just Ralph Angel. Like, Darla is really trying to pull Ralph Angel along on this baby shit.
Found us a place. The rent is cool. He like, don't worry about it. I'm still working on some things. If I gotta go back to you should have already been down to the nursing home. Yeah. Why are you acting? Why are you telling me what you gonna do when I'm telling you what I've already done? And see, that's what's annoying. That's why I'm not here for him. I wasn't here for that whole scene with I'm not here for him in this whole, because he's still to the person that it matters. He still ain't showing up for her. He's still asking her to do what she was doing when he was out there robbing people. So he's not asking. He's asking her to do the same damn thing. Trust me, I got this. And she ain't. She's left back to back. She just handling business because she ready. She know what's finna come. And to him, it's not. It's like, is it clicking in you? You finna have a baby. Our baby doing a month. We got to be out of here in 45 days. Yeah. So you said I would feel like she being set up right now, and and it's annoying. It's just annoying because he is making amends with everybody else. He is being humble to everybody else, but to her, he asking her to do the same shit and ain't got
puffing up his chest.
He ain't got no solutions to nothing. You should have been you should have been to the nursing home when you was told to leave in 45. It's just nothing. He's coming to the table with nothing for this woman.
Yeah, that's so true. Karina says Darla needs to pull the reins and tell Raw, look, we got my college fund money and we're still getting this damn apartment so my baby girl can have a home. Raw still emphasis on still got pride after all this. Pam says she better go ahead and sign that doggone lease. Ashley, your reaction. Is Darla being still a little bit too hands off when it comes to Raw, or do you think he's going to come around to his senses?
I think I love the fact that Darla is, if there is a heart of the show, like a heart soul, she would be the heart of the show. I mean, she's so compassionate. She has so much patience. She embodies what love is as an action word, right? Especially with her level of support. But it's like, girl, you got you a raggedy ass nigga right now. He broke. He got a poor ass mentality, so he really poor. Like, you really have a man that is mentally at his lowest. So it's like, you ain't got time nor the energy to sit here and continue to baby him. Like, it's time to be like, nigga, go put your big boy drawers on and help me pack this motherfucking house up that you had us lose. Like, let's keep reality of it. If the opening scene was really one of those, like, let's move forward scene, right? Like, oh, we have all these great plans. We have a baby coming. Like, let's keep sight of what's coming, like, in the near future. And you're sitting here pouting and shit on a fucking raggedy ass swing. You don't get your ass up. Like, bro, what are you doing right now? We ain't got time for this. So it really is frustrating seeing Ralph Angel get so many opportunities to make better decisions, but he refuses to stabilize his emotions. Like, you have no emotional stability. You get into this mindset, and now you're not asking any of your family for help, really, right? Like, you ain't asking for no funds. You ain't asking for none of that. You really you indirectly relying on your 8-month pregnant fucking wife at home, right? Like, that's what you're relying on. You're not out here making no real moves that are logical moves. You out here still making stupid decisions. So yeah, even though I have to agree with Season, even though he had that conversation with Vi, which really seemed like a good healing conversation for their particular relationship, it did not seem like it was a moving forward conversation that's really like getting him to make some better decisions. Like, I'm sorry, I think Ralph is a broke ass nigga, and if Darla leaves him and goes to this apartment, that would be the best decision she's made.
Well, his ass. Karina says his pregnant wife shouldn't have to carry the burden of looking for a new home, which I agree with. Let's see. Sheila says Rod needs to cut the shit and get it together. All these damn excuses. Fully agree on both with all of you on that. And he says, and do they really need all 800 acres? He could have saved some. He's not good in he don't have no negotiating leverage when he's out there stealing shit and trying to stay out of jail. But I mean, I know, like, when I had like a scare during my pregnancy at 30 weeks, and I like went to the hospital. Thank God everything was fine. But like, I realized, like, if I come home with the baby right now, we're fucked. We don't have anything. All we have is a car seat. And I got my shit together. I finished the registry. I bought like half the registry, we have a home. We weren't going to move out of our home or anything like that. But just the idea of like, we're very much unfucking prepared for this baby who's going to be coming now or 10 weeks from now was scared the shit out of me. And so I can only imagine with the amount of upheaval that they're inevitably faced with no matter what, to still kind of have Ralph Angel not focused on what he needs to be focused on. And so I think that Darla needs to be a lot more like forceful and be like, okay, that wasn't a question. That was, we're moving, period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you are going to go work at the nursing home. Great. That's also part of the plan. But we're going to be moving and it's a nice place and we're going to go there. Just like you made an executive decision to go out and steal, I'm making an executive decision. Now we're going to go move out to this motherfucking apartment, period.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, I think she has to put her foot down, but I will say the previews was all about Darla's baby shower. So hopefully by next week's episode, they will be on the same page. Maybe they'll be moved in. Maybe
bitter ass gonna ruin it. Sorry.
It said it's a
better not, girl.
I think that Queen Sugar has done a magnificent job with these big life events. They don't have the fake out, you know, somebody being left at the altar or no shit like that. It always brings out the best in everybody, and they really are advertising it as a celebration and as a beautiful thing. And there are only 2 episodes left. And so I think that they've made the season with a possible you know, like if it ends, we're going to make sure we kind of, you know, end it on a positive note as well as, you know, close up some of these storylines. So I think it's going to be good news. But for this episode, Darla needed to put her foot down with Ralph Angel, and Ralph Angel needs to get his head out of his ass and out of everybody else's ass and get his head focused on that baby girl. But
is it a season 7 coming?
They haven't been renewed or canceled yet. So I don't know what's going to happen with another season. You know, last season, I feel like they renewed it pretty quickly.
Go on and ask Kamala for us. Go on. You know, that's your home.
Well, Ava DuVernay does follow me. Maybe I can say, hey, what's going on? But I don't know.
Yeah. Come here and talk to us, girl.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool? But I did look it up because I was like, okay, they keep saying like 1 episode left, 2 episodes left. And so there are now 2 episodes left. If this is it, this is it. You know, I mean, 7. This is season 6. 6 seasons is a good run. That's a very good
run. Yeah,
especially on a cable network. You know, it's been a beautiful run. I'm not saying it's over, but I don't know if it's going to be renewed. But one thing I can say, they never ever make it so that like let's fuck shit up so that we can bring people back next season and have to put it back together. Like that's not Queen Sugar's MO. That's not how they do things. So, the last topic is Charlie and Davis. Okay. I ask this every week. Is anybody team Charlie and Davis, or is it just me? In the comments, let me know. Ashley, are you coming over with the team Charlie and Davis?
I'm happy that Charlie told him no.
So it's just me. Okay. Season. You're at least team Charlie. Did Davis win any cool points with his grand romantic gesture, surprising Charlie, flying across country, setting up their old apartment like how it was? Apparently they went to Duke. My hubby went to Duke. Shout out to the Blue, I think are they called the Blue Devils or something like that. Shout out to Duke. Did he win any cool points at all with you this episode?
I think when he said in the end that he's not going anywhere and he's a patient man, I was like, okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. But I was happy that she made it known that he is not, that their relationship needs to continue to grow and be organic because she has goals, she has aspirations, and she wants to get this seat in Congress. So she can't be having her head clouded with no engagement and planning no wedding and none of that. Like she made it clear where she needs his support, and she needs his support while she is doing her thing, and she's going to support him. Like, you know, so I was happy that she said no. I mean, a little piece of me was like, oh, you know, she could have took the ring, you know, and just, they could have said, well, I don't want to do nothing for a year or two. But I like that she stood up for herself and let him know, like, very, very precisely where her priorities where her priorities are.
Ashley, your reaction.
I think it was so sweet. I mean, this really just reiterates the idea that if a man want to do it, he will. If a man got money, he'll spend it. Like it's not an issue. If he really wants to, he'll do it. So I love the fact that he sent a car for her, set up the apartment. It wasn't just him, flying her off to Paris for dinner real quick, which don't get me wrong, that'd be nice too.
Yeah.
But he actually did something that was like super thoughtful, nostalgic, romantic. Like he hit so many different pillars with that one date. It was exciting. So
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed it. I didn't think that he was going to propose. I thought it really was just going to be like another one of their awesome dates. So it was kind of shocking that he proposed to her. But I am really happy that Queen Sugar decided to not have her say yes, and her really just
Uh-oh. She froze.
Dang. Well, I'm glad she said no, honey. Keep them on ice. Keep them on. Hold off a little bit.
Well, I guess I'm in the minority per usual when it comes to Charlie and Davis, because I would have really liked it if she said yes. Like, getting engaged is not the same as being married. Okay, you're back.
Yeah. Yay!
Maybe she'll rethink it and propose to him.
I think this is my theory,
see that.
based on her kind of like when Vi asked, "Oh, how is he taking it?" and she was like, "Oh, we're good," and then she was kind of like, looking at her phone, like all, starry eyed. I think Charlie is a woman who likes to be in control. I don't think she likes things sprung on her of that magnitude. I mean, sure, you spring a date on her, you don't spring a marriage on her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that she just wants to work through things methodically. She wants to come to the conclusion on her own, and just having this kind of sprung on her with no kind of, thought and talking through it. I think she just wasn't ready in that moment. And in that moment, all she can do is think about her career and how this could, impact it. Because all the stuff was all about career. It wasn't about her feelings. It wasn't about even the status of their relationship in terms of, I don't trust you, or we have all this baggage. It was all just strictly about logistics. And I mean, logistics are a legitimate concern, but it's also not a very romantic, response. And so I just think that her first instinct is, business, and like, let's handle all this business first. And then now I think as she has more time to reflect, maybe she'll get in the more romantic spirit, because an engagement is not a marriage, and my attitude is that marriage really doesn't change things that much. If you have for me, that's been my experience. My relationship with my husband is pretty much exactly the same. Like, it wasn't like we got married and we came home and it's like, all right, now, woman, you gonna be in that kitchen cooking and you're gonna be cleaning this house. And like literally, like, it was like, oh, cool, we're the married people now. Like, when we're out, it's like, oh, I guess we're the married couple. Like, that's really the extent of the change that we've seen in our relationship. We've always been partners. We've always just had a certain relationship. So I don't think that it's such an extreme where it's like, well, we're together. We know we're going to be together, but let's not get married. Like, I just, like, at your age, you've already been there, done that. Like, what the fuck is the problem? What are you doing then? But Davis did say, I'm a patient man. And I love that, because so many times on these shows, they have it almost like an ultimatum where, like, the guy proposes and then he storms the fuck off and he's pissed. And then you spend a whole nother season of the woman regretting that she said no and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, good. Davis was very mature about it. You can tell it was really from the heart. And it was about him being with her, not so much about trying to lock her down. And I think that, like, that's something that Charlie doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to be locked down. She doesn't want to interfere with his plans. She doesn't want him to interfere with her plans. And so overall, it was good that she was authentic to that in that moment. But I have a feeling we're going to get a reversal on that. Do either of you guys think that before the season is over? Yeah. Right. That's where it's going, right?
That's where it's headed.
Let's see. Karina says, I don't think she said no because she
Gross.
doesn't want to. She just doesn't want any interference with rebuilding their relationship with all that's happening right now. And it's legitimate. I mean, there's a lot they have going on. He's a first-time coach. She's running for Senate. I told y'all she was on that Kamala Harris track. I told y'all that.
She said Congresswoman.
But she said she's running for Senate. She said she's running for Senate. Yeah. I don't know why they kept saying run for Congress. I mean, usually you would say run for Senate, but she said she's traveling. You don't have to travel statewide to run for Congress because it's just one district. So, yeah. So going statewide is what you do when you're running for Senate. She specifically said Senate. So, yes, she's on my girl Kamala's track, VP. Okay, Senate. Then maybe Charlie could be president one day. We'll do like a reunion, a fake reunion, and she'll be president of the United States. Okay.
Oh, you got to go to her inauguration.
Yeah, I'll be at Charlie fictional inauguration. Okay. But yeah, and then IB says timing is everything because of Davis's past. Charlie's gonna make him walk his talk this time. Yeah, I mean, she's the past did come in a little bit like we were young, we were dumb. Let's do it right this time. I don't want to set us up for failure.
Pregnant.
Yeah, I think there was a lot working against them, but I mean, I don't get the feeling that has anxiety about their past so much as like she probably has more anxiety about their future. And the fact that they just really aren't on the same trajectory physically, So, I mean, it's interesting though that this is like a Louisiana. They made it so that it's Louisiana, so that there's that distance there. Because before it was going to be California or Louisiana, now it's Louisiana. It'd make more sense to me if she goes to California because at least California always has Democratic senators. Louisiana, not so much. So whatever, but it's a fictional show, so it doesn't all make sense. But I do think that we're gonna get a happy ending for Davis and Charlie at some point. So. 2 episodes left. Next week is all about Darla and her baby shower. Gonna be beautiful. Lots of celebratory images. All
okay,
positive.
what we wearing to Darla's baby shower?
We should wear pink. Pink for a baby girl. Yes.
I don't have no pink, and I'm finna have me a girl.
We have to change that. Okay, well, you can wear white or you can wear pink.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna do pink. We're gonna do pink.
Okay. Ooh, we could do pink.
I got lots of pink. So, yes. Okay, so and Blue will be back. Yes, Karina. Blue will be back for an episode. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to get the bad news at the farm. He's going the fuck away because his daddy was out there stealing and got crime charges. But it's gonna be all about
cry.
Yeah, but he looks like he's so mature, and I think it's just going to be really cute. It's going to be a reunion. So 2 more episodes. It's all about Darla. Don't know how they're going to finish it off, but we're going to be back next Tuesday and the following Tuesday, and then everybody get that Tuesdays back. Every black show want to come on Tuesday. Our Kind of People come on Tuesdays. Queens on ABC comes on Tuesdays. So we're not going to be recapping those, but it's other shows that'll be on there to watch.
Oh, you can come for us for Insecure because it's going to be a good week.
It's going to be. So we'll be recapping Insecure on Sunday. Real quick, IB says, is it me or does it feel like Charlie's hiding Davis from the political people who want her to run? No, because remember she did the whole interview with Gayle King and she talked about her relationship. So she's definitely not hiding it.
And they mentioned that when she went to
think she's not making it like the forefront though. Like she's not bringing attention to it.
Well, when she went to the meeting, when she had lunch with that guy, he brought up the thing and she went on her rant about how whatever. He was like, no, you handled yourself very well. And
yeah. So that's a non-issue. Like I said it was gonna be a non-issue. But we're gonna be back on Sunday. Recapping Insecure. It's going to be war. It's gonna be war on the time, and I already know it. We already probably have a person who's RSVP to come back on Sunday to talk shit.
IBE, that's the one. That's it.
No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. Was it IBE?
Yep.
IBE, are you the one who was talking shit on Sunday? Talking about black women.
They were. We don't know if this is a male.
I'm sorry. Were you the person who was talking shit on Sunday? Please confirm or deny. I feel like I don't remember that being the name, but okay, maybe IBE is the person. And I will say this: if you are in fact the person, I'm waiting for you to confirm. if you are in fact the person, I had a discussion with my husband. This is a preview of Sunday. And he did kind of side-eye me a little bit about using the word abandoned. But I told him, I said I was being flippant. I walked back the word abandoned. Okay. I was like, I'm not fucking apologizing. But I did walk it back a little bit. But what I determined, because we talked about it more, and I determined that if Lawrence has a custody arrangement with Condola, then I won't say that he is an absent father. Okay, that's my criteria. And I will walk back my comments on Sunday about saying he abandoned his baby.
No, we ain't apologizing for it.
No. That's not an apology.
MD tells her, yeah, he was. I know he was.
Okay. MD Turb remembers. Okay. The North remembers. So never apologizing. I don't apologize. Okay.
No, we're not backtracking on nothing because but I got no arrangement with Condola. Come on.
No, because I'm a person who I can stand corrected. I stand corrected. I'm not a person who's belligerent in the face of objective truths. So in my view, if he has a custodial arrangement with physical shared custody of his baby, then I will not say that he is an absentee father, physically absent father. Now, if he is, I see that baby when I see the baby and I'm in town, can I see my child? Fuck Lawrence. Okay, I will stand 10 toes down in that. So we'll see, because as IB pointed out on Sunday, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have an advanced screening of the episode. So I don't know if it's going to be custodial arrangement or can I see my baby? We'll see.
He ain't got no custodial arrangement. That nigga gone. He left that
gone, baby. I'm trying to take care of my son and get my career off the ground.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
This job is my dream job. I want to be out here with these trolleys. Yeah, that nigga, he left that baby.
Well, I'm predicting that he won't have a custodial arrangement. Now, my husband has predicted that he will have a custodial arrangement. So he was like,
stand up for the black man.
Yeah, so he did. He made me consider my criteria because we had a discussion about it, and we walked through it, and I was like, he was like, well, what if this one? I said, okay, fine. This is the scenario. So we'll see on Sunday. I fully expect that it's going to be war, regardless of whatever I think we're going to be having a discussion again on Sunday. Yeah. But I think it's going to be fun.
Baby daddy's going to cuss us out. That's what I think.
Well, in fairness, Issa Rae is going to be dragged to hell and back. Far more than even I was dragged this past weekend, okay? Because they're going to be like, she's making black men look bad. And so she's going to have to deal with that. We're just going to be the messengers. Don't shoot us. We're reacting to what's written. Like Amanda Seales was like, it's a show and I didn't write it. Get the fuck off my tit. Like that'll be us. But prepare for war on Sunday. Okay, we're going to have on our boxing gloves on Sunday because we already know people are going to be pissed off.
I was about to say, what's our outfit for Sunday?
War paint, baby.
Like, get your court. We're going to be quarterbacking like Colin Kaepernick, okay? Anyway, but that ends Queen Sugar recap. Thank y'all for tuning in. 2 more episodes, 2 more weeks of this. Catch us on Sunday. Bye, y'all.